Here are the 6 tiny but massive mistakes that I see every brand new Airbnb host making when they're first coming in. And I'm going to prevent you and mitigate that risk of you making the wrong mistakes and following the footsteps of why most people fail getting into this industry. And that is this. Number 1 starts with making a right decision on apartments versus houses. The reason why we don't want to go to apartments first is because we're pitching a business. When you're pitching a business, you have got different levels that have to go through approval. It's much more difficult to get a landlord at a business, the owner of a corporation, to say yes to allow you to Airbnb their property versus John or Judy, who owns a single family house. Also, if you don't have your business credit built out, generally most apartment complexes require you to have a Intel score of 80 or a Paydex score of 80 or higher. If you don't have that, start with single family houses first while you're building your business credit so that you can ultimately, after your first couple properties, then go to corporate leasing, which is a fancy way of saying we're going to go to apartments and get multiple properties at one time. Number 2 mistake, and that is paid versus free software. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. If you sat down on a plane and the lady said, hey, listen, guys, everybody, just want to let you know we're going to have an amazing flight from New York all the way over to LA. We want to let you know that the engine on the right side has been having issues for the last hour. Would you stay on the plane? No. Why would you get into Airbnb with free software? In other words, you're just guessing on the numbers. You don't understand if the numbers are going to make sense. Why would you go to a landlord and present an offer to them to rent their property if you don't even know what the numbers are to make sure that it's a profitable property? So they have a free version of AirDNA and they have a paid option of AirDNA. My students get my executive level AirDNA and it's $2,000 a year, and they get it as part of working with me. I highly recommend, whether you and I work together or not, that you do not be cheap and get the free software. The numbers could be skewed. You're going to get very limited data. You want to get the best of the best, especially when you're talking about the numbers that ultimately lead to either you coming out of pocket every month to pay a landlord or you actually making money, which is how a business is supposed to be ran. Number 3 mistake, and that is understanding that most people fail getting into Airbnb. The failure rate is over 90% of Airbnb hosts in the first year. It is very high. And the reason for it is because most people don't know how to do the numbers in AirDNA, and they can forget contacting a landlord trying to figure out what to say to a landlord when you have no Airbnbs, no background, no references, no website, no business credit built up yet. And you're trying to pitch a landlord, even if you've been watching my videos and you're like, look, I've been watching your videos. I'm not pitching Airbnb. I'm pitching corporate leasing. What do you say after that? When they start asking you questions about, hey, do you have a website? Hey, how long have you been doing this? How many Airbnbs do you have? Can you send me a couple references? I want to verify your length of time you've been in business. And you're like, you don't have anything. So the chance of you getting into this business with no credibility is very difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's difficult without any credibility. I can help you with this. You need to connect with somebody who has credibility, who has the website, who has the background, who has the Airbnb, who has the references, whatever that landlord needs. I can help provide that to help you get into your property. And that is the handoff that not a single Airbnb coach even would consider doing, which I have. The reason I became the #1 Airbnb coach in America is because I was willing to do something and sacrifice my time so you guys can win. And that leads me into mistake number 4. And that is you guys are pitching Airbnb, again, with no credibility, as opposed to corporate leasing company. You see, Airbnb is the largest short-term rental platform, but it also has an issue where people have put it on the news. And Fox and ABC and NBC and all these news stations are covering Airbnb because of the parties, because of the people getting sick, because of the people that are squatting in them, because people have died in them. So it's made national coverage. So when a landlord hears you say, hey, I want to put it on your property on Airbnb, they have heard nothing after that conversation, and you might as well consider they have tuned you out. That being said, we say corporate leasing company for a reason. We're a corporate leasing company. We have travel nurses, doctors, chiropractors, business professionals, relocators. Sometimes our clients stay for 2 to 3 days. Sometimes they stay for 2 to 3 months. Or Mr. Landlord, your property is going to be in for sale condition the entire lease. In fact, we're going to make sure it stays immaculate because we have a professional cleaning crew that comes in once a week and deep cleans the property. Okay? We also handle any minor maintenance on the property. We're going to be the best tenant you've ever had. We have no smokers, no pets, and generally no little kids. We want to put together a 2-year lease to show you we're serious. And here's a little bit of our background, our reputation, how long we've been doing this, our Airbnbs, any references you need. That's what I handle for you guys. And that leads me to problem number 5, which is not knowing the cities and the zip codes within those cities. You see, I can tell you that Nashville, Pigeon Forge, St. Augustine, I can tell you that Waco, Texas, I can tell you that Broken Bow, Oklahoma, I can tell you Santa Clarita, California, I can tell you Sedona, Arizona are great markets for Airbnb. Always tend to go lower. The southern states do better than the northern states. That's when people vacation, they go down. Warmer climates. And I can tell you to be around hospitals, and I can tell you to be around hotels, and I can tell you to be around H2O, which is the 4 H's, hills, hospitals, hotels. But if I don't tell you the zip codes within those markets, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. I'm in Jacksonville, okay? Does that mean that every area in Jacksonville is amazing to do Airbnb? Of course not. So I can tell you Nashville's amazing, but what zip code within Nashville is amazing? And this is what I do for my students. That granular, not, oh, Nashville's great, because Nashville is great, but not every zip code is great. And that leads me to mistake number 6, and that is this. I highly recommend that you start with a furnished property versus an unfurnished property. When you're on Zillow, filter by furnished properties. The reason for it is because the time delay for you going out purchasing the stuff, having a team to go to put everything assembled on your property, it's 3 to 4 weeks of time you're messing up on that lease, and you every second of every minute when you sign with the landlord is so important that you don't miss any time. When you go with a furnished property, there might be some small things that you might want to do. Maybe you want to change the pillows, change the bedding. Maybe you want to do some small pictures on the wall, right? Spruce it up. But you're not buying the beds, the TVs, the couches, the night. You're not buying that stuff's already there. So essentially, we're just freshening it up. You see the difference? Freshening it up means we can go to Walmart and get stuff to freshen up. Doesn't mean we go out and buy everything and assemble the entire place. Highly recommend for your very first property to go furnished because of the time savings and the financial savings. Get in the property immediately and have it rocking and rolling and get it onto Airbnb as quick as humanly possible. And this is the big mistake that people make. They've spent so much time and money and energy into the property that the next month is ready for rent and they haven't even got anybody off of Airbnb to stay at the property yet. What if you didn't have to worry about furnishing the property? What if you didn't have to worry about paying your first month of rent? What if you didn't have to buy the $2,000 software? What if you didn't have to worry about the agreement that goes between you and the landlord to basically make the deal legal that says, hey, Mr. Landlord, you understand we're not going to live in a property. We are going to put it on Airbnb, vrbo, bookings.com. What if you didn't have to worry about the wondering all around, am I in the right market? Am I in the right zip code? Am I doing this the right way? And I can help you mitigate that risk. If that's interesting to you, you're going to see in the link below, you're going to see the Airbnb Super Bowl link. I highly, highly recommend that you show up this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to see the link in the description box. Register now. It is the greatest, most anticipated training on rental arbitrage or Airbnb arbitrage, which essentially means we're not buying the property, we're just renting it and getting a landlord's permission on this planet. It is finally here this Friday at 8 p.m. You do not want to miss it for anything because everything I just told you right there is everything I'm doing. And I'm telling you something, you will learn so much that you're going to be ahead of so many people just by showing up. It's completely free. And I want to give it to you just for watching this video. As my thanks for you showing up here, watching this, and to get to this point right here, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. 3 things you're going to do. Thumbs up, please. It helps me out. It also allows me to do videos. Subscribe to the channel so that you're here every single day as I'm giving you content in depth. I'm not giving you all the fluff. I'm giving you all real stuff because I want you to win. I love you. And 3, then go down. You'll see in the description box where you're going to see the link. All you got to do is put your name and email and hit submit. You're going to see it where you can register for the free Airbnb Super Bowl, which is this Friday, 8 p.m. guys, Eastern time. I can't wait to see you there. I'm going to do a shout out for you. And I love every one of you guys that I want you to win. And this is why I do videos. So you win and you're not part of the 90% failure rate of everybody else in the first year. God bless. Be safe. My name is Investor Mike. Get registered. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys live Friday at 8 p.m. Let's roll.